So next one, we still go to the page 9.3, the phrase structure trees. The following tree diagram provides label for each of the constituent of the sentence. So see, tree diagram provides label. So we are labeling every constituent. The child put the puppy in the garden. These labels show that the entire sentence belongs to the syntactic category of a sentence, that the child and the puppy are noun phrase, that put the puppy is a verb phrase, that in the garden is a prepositional phrase, and so on. See page 9.4, a complicated tree diagram. Ini diagram pohon yang cukup complicated. Sudah ketemu? Ribet ya, ribet banget. Jadi the child put the puppy in the garden. Pertama sentence terdiri dari noun phrase dan verb phrase. Noun phrase-nya kan the child. The child ini the masuknya auxiliary determiner. Child masuknya ke prepositional phrase, kemudian masuknya ke noun phrase child. Kemudian put the puppy in the garden. Ini adakan verb phrase. Verbnya put, kemudian the puppy masuknya noun phrase. In the garden masuknya prepositional phrase. Berarti, maaf ini bukunya salah halaman 9.4 ini. Harusnya child di sini masuknya noun, bukan prepositional phrase. Karena noun phrase terdiri dari determiner dan noun. Bisa diikuti. Yang bagian child, on page 9.4, if you see the word child, it's written child for a prepositional phrase, but that's wrong. The correct one is child is the noun, not the prepositional phrase. And the next one is the put the puppy in the garden. Put belongs to verb, the puppy belongs to noun phrase. Same with the child. Noun phrase consists of the determiner and noun. The is labeled as determiner and puppy is labeled for noun. Then in the garden is prepositional phrase. In is a prepositional and the garden is noun phrase. Same with the child, the puppy. The garden also consisted of the as a determiner and garden as a noun. Master, bisa dibacakan paragraf ini? A tree diagram. Okay, so I will highlight the sentence. Phrases structured trees are graphic representation of a speaker's knowledge of the sentence structure in their languages. But I think the native speaker, honestly, native speaker cannot explain this term since this term is linguistic. Only those who learn linguistic, who study linguistic, they are able to recognize any term of our study now. So, three aspects of a speaker's syntactic knowledge are represented in phrase structure tree. Jadi, when we learn the phrase structure tree, First, the linear order of words in a sentence. So the benefit of study tree structure is we can see and we can arrange word in order. We can arrange a good sentences with a good order. And also the grouping of words into syntactic categories. And the last one, the hierarchical structure of the syntactic categories. For example, sentence is composed of a noun phrase followed by a verb phrase, and a verb phrase is composed by verb that may followed by a noun phrase. See the last paragraph on the page 9.4. A phrase structure tree that explicitly reveal these properties can represent every sentence of English and every human languages. Notice, however, that the first structure tree above is correct, but redundant. Do you know redundant? Tapi dikurangi. The word child, puppy, and garden are repeated. Then we can streamline the tree by writing the words only once at the bottom of the diagram. Only the syntactic categories to which the word belongs need to remain at the higher level. Masih ingat nggak? I think on the first, at the beginning of our class, I mentioned two terms, content word and function word. Do you still remember what are they, content word and function word? Masih ingat nggak mas, content word dan function word? Masih apa bedanya content word dan function word? Kalau dari artinya saja dulu, berarti content word dan function word itu mana yang punya arti? Kalau dia berdiri sebagai kalimat, kata. Mhm, mhm. Oke, oke. Jadi intinya function word itu adalah contohnya kalimat seperti determiner, the, a, an, kemudian preposition above, on, at. Nah, function word ini tidak bisa memiliki arti kalau tidak digabung dengan content word. Nah, content word tadi sama seperti yang dijelaskan Mbak Yusnita, terima kasih. Content word adalah verb, noun. Itu berdiri sebagai adjektif, itu masuk sebagai content word. Jadi, the grouping of word into syntactic categories. Jadi, fungsinya kita belajar sintaktik itu, kita bisa, contohnya ini, dari kalimat the child put the puppy in the garden. Di sini kan yang masuk content word adalah child, put, puppy, garden. Ya kan? Jadi sekalipun kita tidak, misalnya we omit all of the function word, we still get the meaning. Child put puppy garden. Then when we add the function word, it will have sense to us. The child put the puppy in the garden. Jadi kalau kita menghilangkan kalimat the, in, and the, ini semua kan tetap masih bisa ada artinya. Tapi kalau kita hanya menggunakan the, in, and the, it doesn't make sense at all. So, no information is lost in the simplified version. The syntactic category of each word appears immediately above it. In this way, there is shown to be a determiner, child, a noun, and so on. In Chapter 3, we discussed the fact that the syntactic category of each word is listed in our mental dictionaries. We now see how this information is used by the syntax of language. Words occur in trees under labels that correspond to their syntactic category. Nouns are under N, preposition under P, and so on. Jadi, ini bagaimana kalimat-kalimat itu bekerja. Selanjutnya, Mbak Yusnita sudah bisa ikut membaca belum? Oh ya, sudah ikut mendengarkan dulu ya Mbak ya. Mas Tri silahkan, tolong dibacakan. We have not given definition. Okay. Okay, thank you. Jadi, I will highlight the middle, the sentences in the middle. I think it is in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the line 5, syntactic categories are better defined in terms of the syntactic rules of the grammar. So I will say welcome to Mbak Eni Nur Hidayati. Welcome to this class, Mbak Eni. Hari ini bisa aktif partisipasi atau hanya mendengarkan? Halo, Mbak Eni. Sepertinya Mbak Eni belum bisa ikut aktif ya. Untuk Mbak Eni, sekarang kita sampai di halaman 9.5. So I will read the last sentences on page 9.5. The larger syntactic categories, such as verb phrase, are identified as consisting of all the syntactic categories and words below that point, or note, in the tree. The verb phrase in the above phrase structure tree consists of syntactic categories note, verb, and noun phrase and prepositional phrase. And the words put, the, puppy, in, the, and garden. Since the puppy can be traced up the tree to the node noun phrase, this constituent is a noun phrase. Since the garden in the garden can be traced up the tree to the prepositional phrase, this constituent is a prepositional phrase. The phrase structure tree reflects the speaker intuitions about the natural groupings of words in a sentence. Jadi kalimat ini sebenarnya menjelaskan how this rule works, how these rules apply to the sentence. Mas Tri bisa bacakan paragraph the phrase structure trees. Oke, thank you. Saya lanjutkan lagi. The phrase structure tree also shows that some syntactic categories are composed of other syntactic categories. The sentence "the child put the puppy in the garden" consists of noun phrase, the child, and a verb phrase, put the puppy in the garden. The verb phrase consists of the verb, put the noun phrase the puppy, and the prepositional phrase in the garden. Jadi kesimpulannya sama seperti apa yang sudah kita bahas tadi. Ini saya akan highlight kalimat yang di bold. Those two bold words. Every higher note is said to dominate all the categories beneath it. Verb phrase dominates verb, noun phrase, and prepositional phrase, and also dominates determiner, noun phrase, and prepositional phrase, and so on. Jadi ini bagaimana aturan-aturan ini bekerja. Next we are going to discuss the activity 1 on page 9.6 until 9.7.